And we are back. So, as I stated, the Hornets and Pacers game is pretty much winding down now. It's about 4 minutes left. Pacers are at 134 to 100. I'm not seeing any real sense of urgency from Charlotte here. It is, yeah, your season's 4 minutes from being over, boys. Yes, it was a good effort. Hopefully, can make some uh, acquisitions in free agency and build
Oh,
on this next year. Put some people around Lonzo or Lamelo. I'm sorry,
Melo. But
but yeah,
we do know one thing. Melo forward.
yeah.
Yeah.
So now, besides that, we're gonna get into, as I stated earlier, Kendrick Perkins and his some would say outlandish comment statement that it is harder to win a NBA championship than it is to win a Super Bowl. Now, you can look at it a couple ways, right?
Great. Before you get into it, let me ask you this. Which one's worse? This one or the Brandon Marshall comment?
Where Brandon Marshall comment.
That the NBA contract's not guaranteed.
Um, Brandon Marshall because that was just plain wrong for
Okay.
Brandon Marshall. This is an opinion. At the end of the
Right.
day,
I,
I can't tell him he's wrong. Really,
I got I got you.
all takes are valid, as we say, right? So I mean, that's his take, but
It's not valid, but okay.
yeah.
But go ahead.
So now I'm just trying to play devil's advocate for him here.
I
So
got you.
the way I could kind of get what he's saying is just look at roster sizes in the
Okay.
NBA and the NFL.
Okay.
You can be LaShawn McCoy and went back to back in the Super Bowls
Right.
and never even took a snap. So I can see it from that perspective. 53 guys on the roster in the NFL team,
Okay.
you know. So if your team just happens to be, be good enough and win a Super Bowl, you by default you would get a ring, right? So I
Okay.
see that aspect of it. There's less people on the NBA roster. But if you take that away and then just even factor into it's one and done in the NFL.
Okay.
So from the aspect of in the NBA, if you let's say you have a bad game, you're the better team, but you have a bad game. As the series goes on, the better team tends to win those series at the end of the day. You could be down 2 games and come back and win 4-2. Usually the better team is going to win a series. In the NFL, you could be the best team if you have a bad game or something's off. That's it.
You out.
That's it. And you could have been the better team on paper. None of that matters in the playoffs or especially in the Super Bowl. So I don't know. I like I said, I try to play devil's advocate for him. I can kind of see it, but I think most people when they saw that comment, they just were like kind of like scratching their head.
I
There's a lot of stuff that Kendrick Perkins says that has people scratching their head, but
Mhm.
he he motivates me. He's my favorite. He's one of my favorite analysts because if this man is on TV saying some of the stuff he says, I know some of my takes. They got they hold a lot more weight than what this guy's out here saying. So keep doing your thing, KP.
All right.
KP the goat.
Okay. Okay. All right. All right.
Hey,
Okay. You know what? All right. You know what? Let's flip it. All right. So let's go back to your first point. You said about let's take LaShawn McCoy on a roster. Really didn't do anything. Got a ring.
Mm-hmm.
Jeremy Lin 2 years ago didn't really get up on the Raptors. He was there, but didn't really see him on the court most of the time, pretty much. But he got a ring though. So I don't know about that. But in all the aspect, like you said, like in the NBA, there's like, oh man, you lost a game in a series. You're like, okay, we lost one game, but you could turn around in the next game. We seen series that went 3-3, or they were down by 2006. Heck, all right, let's make it even more recent. The Thunders and Warriors. The Thunders was up 3-1.
Mm-hmm.
All they had to do was win one game, and they had it in the bag.
And the better team won, though, right?
Rallied up, won 3 straight. In the NFL, they don't get that kind of chance. Even if they were the better team on paper, if the better team has a bad game, and the other team that wasn't on paper good actually has a really good game, then they win, they're out. There's no second chance or, we can come back next game. Nah, once you lose, you lose. That's it. So, like, it's kind of weird to him say, like, the NBA is harder to win a championship in the NBA than the NFL. No, because you have more chances to win in the NBA. Let's break it down, Kendrick. Let's really break it down. It's harder for you, but it might not be harder for some. But here's the thing. I get it in some points, but there's other things like, man, it's not light years away, but isn't a different corner of the city. It's just different. It's a whole different thing. If the NBA, if the NFL, if the NBA Finals and the NBA playoffs has the same structure as the NFL playoffs, most of the teams that be winning these championships might not even be here.
Oh, you talk about if it was just one and done?
Yeah, it's just one and done.
Oh yeah, it'd be a lot different.
Oh yeah, a lot different.
But another key thing too, though, is you got to think about it. 2-3 players can affect the outcome of an NBA game.
Right.
You need more than that in on
an NFL team. You need everybody.
There's a lot more factors that go into that.
Yeah, you need all hands on deck. Everybody has to be on this top. And then
the best. Let's take your star players for example. Your star players on the NBA, they play both sides of the ball basically. They play offense and defense, so they affect the game both ways. Let's say you're a team who you got a good defense, you got a star quarterback, and then you got okay weapons or whatever.
Right.
Your quarterback being your star, he doesn't affect the defense. And if he's your best player, no matter what he does, if the defense can't stop anybody, it doesn't matter.
I mean, yeah, you got to think about it. Okay, Tom is on offense. He's only control the offense. You don't see Tom outside cornerback lining up. Like, it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that.
Yeah, but you can see LeBron make a dunk, and then on the other end, he run down the field and, he calls a block.
Right.
So it's like, it's a lot different. So you're affecting the game more in the NBA than you are in the NFL.
Right. If he said NBA players are able to make more of an impact than NFL players during those time periods, and yes, I definitely agree with you. Yes, I'll definitely agree with him. Because if LeBron never made that block against the Warriors, they wouldn't have won. So it's just that, I don't know. It's just, like I said, it's the two different streets. Like, it just it's the same category, but it's a whole different like subcategories. They're still sports, but it's two different sports, two different whole different things.
Yeah, and I mean, of course, he was going to say that though. He's a basketball player, so
right.
Yeah, Of course, I
Right.
mean, of course, he's gonna feel like his sport is harder, or you know.
Everybody's
And then
sport.
again, you gotta think about it too. Like you said, maybe it was harder for him. Like he was never a star. Well, he definitely was a superstar. He wasn't even a star player. So it's like,
Like you gotta think about it. After the whole Thunder's debacle, look where he went to. He went to the Celtics. He went to the Cavs. Nothing.
yeah,
Nothing. So I get what he's saying in a sense, but it's just a whole different category because there's a lot more chance. There's a lot more chance of NBA players making a difference on the court than NFL players. And what I mean by that is that like we alluded to, like Tom can do everything in his power to put them up. If the defense can't do anything, it's out of his power. He can't go out there and just line up. It's like, all right, I got this. He can't. That's not his position. That's not
right,
him. On the in basketball, if LeBron makes a score, okay, I got to run a defense to stop them from scoring. He can
right,
still do. He can do that because it's still in that transition of all right from score offense, all right, back to defense. Only things changes, all right, sub is subs. That's really it.
yeah.
But I'm just saying, it's just crazy. When I saw that comment, I'm like, really, KP? Out of all things to say, this one, this is the one you wanted to say.
Like I said, he motivates me. He is my motivation.
You right.
Because if he can have these outlandish takes and my boy's still getting that bag, hey, keep on, keep it on. I'm with it. Somebody out there listen to it. And maybe he says some of this outlandish stuff just because he knows it's gonna get people talking.
Oh, I
Which
mean,
which
yeah,
it
sometimes
which it is. So we're talking about it right now, right? So maybe it's a method to his madness. Hey, but also just want to shout him out because he was early on the Heat last year. Everybody probably thought he was crazy about that too. So, you know, he not always wrong. He ain't
he's not.
always wrong.
But sometimes it's just
most of
crazy.
most of the time, but not always.
Not always. It's just talk craziness. I don't know what's going on with these NBA players. Once they step out the game, they just speak outlandish stuff. Like Paul Pierce says he was a better than D Wade's career. What?
He just hates the Heat though, so that's
I understand.
he finds any way to talk bad about LeBron, Wade. Like it's a bite. That's why he got fired though. So you know.
let that hate go. You're the first one that did the big three. Let that hate go.
Hey, but yeah, so it's a wrap. The Pacers
Got it.
officially
Yep.
have eliminated the Hornets. Their season is over.
Denzo.
So Pacers are going to be watching this game, waiting to see who they're gonna face. But outside of that, did you have anything else before we wrap?
Um, not really. Um, no, not really. I'm trying to. Yeah, no, I'm good.
All right. Well, you've heard what we had to say. You can agree or you can disagree, but at the end of the day, all takes are valid. All right, Spence.